We are talking about the power of love. In our last episode, I discussed a few different types or degrees of love in the Greek language, which were eros, philia, storge, and agape. In English, we only have the word love, and love could mean something like I love my dinner, I love ice cream, or I love my husband. We can kind of tell by the context what type of love it is in the English language, but in the Greek, it's very specific, where eros is more of that passionate love for your husband or your wife, the one that you're just really passionate about, attracted to. Philia love is more of the brotherly love. For a friend, it's platonic. Storge is for your family, just family type of love. And agape is unconditional, sacrificial love, like the love that God has for humanity. That's just a little review from our last episode. And I want to go a little deeper into this on how love benefits us, how love brings healing. Scientific studies have shown that love makes you happy, love brings healing to your body, it can make you live longer, it can give you feelings of not just happiness, but bliss and euphoria, and it has so much good. And I want to dive a little deeper into some articles that I found that I think will give a little deeper look into what love can do. In one article called Feel Good Hormones, How They Affect Your Mind, Mood, and Body by Stephanie Watson, executive editor of Harvard Women's Health Watch, she says, hormones are your body's chemical messengers. Once released by glands into your bloodstream, they act on various organs and tissues to control everything from the way your body functions to how you feel. One group of hormones are nicknamed feel-good hormones because of the happy and sometimes euphoric feelings they produce. They are also considered neurotransmitters, which means they carry messages across spaces between nerve cells. So that's a little bit of science. She goes in a little bit deeper, saying that 4 of the feel-good hormones is dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and oxytocin. So this article specifically saying what happens and how these can be produced through love. So she says here, dopamine can provide an intense feeling of reward. Dopamine is most notably involved in helping us feel pleasure as part of the brain's reward system. Sex, shopping, smelling cookies, baking in the oven, all of these things can trigger a dopamine release or a dopamine rush. The dark side of dopamine is the intense feeling of reward people feel when they take drugs such as heroin or cocaine, which can lead to addiction. There is also some evidence that the brain releases more dopamine when we meditate. The change in consciousness that occurs during meditation may trigger its release. Dopamine, it's not just a way you feel, but it also affects all other aspects of your life. It says here, dopamine is released and triggered during meditation, and there's studies that found that. So when this change of consciousness occurs, when we pray, we meditate on the Lord in music, and we're just in a place of even stillness and quietness and meditation, that change of consciousness brings a dopamine release within us. And it's going to make you feel better, and it's going to be healing to your body. She mentions oxytocin. That is a bonding hormone that we talked a little bit about in the last episode, and that is released when your relationship goes to long-term or through even friendships. Can be released through eros type of love. It can be released through agape. It can even be released through phileo because it's a bonding friendship type of love. And And that's also really, really good and really healthy for your body. Another article written by Jamie Ducharme in Time, 5 Ways Love is Good for Your Health, and quotes from Dr. Helen Rise saying that love makes you happy. And she says when you first fall in love, dopamine, that feel-good chemical in your brain, is released. And it's especially active. She says that this is a mood intensifier, so people feel extremely positive and very appreciated. Hence like a cloud 9 type of feeling, like a high. And you're on like a love high. Oh, you can tell when someone's in love, right? So that's that dopamine release, and it's natural and it's healthy. Love busts stress. Number 2, she says, after the honeymoon phase subsides, dopamine starts to share space with another brain chemical called, what we mentioned earlier, oxytocin, or the bonding hormone, that not only gives you warm and fuzzy feelings with you and your partner, but it can also be good for your health, this doctor says. Love is good for your health. It makes you happy. It gets rid of stress. It eases anxiety. It says here quite a few studies have pointed to ways that loneliness can hurt your health, from increasing inflammation to activating pain centers. The feelings of loneliness stimulate anxiety, which can be mediated by love. And also when you feel lonely, cortisol and adrenaline levels will rise. And that's really bad for your body. Being in love and feeling close to another person can mitigate this anxiety. So love makes you take better care of yourself, and love helps you live longer. And this long life benefit is largely explained by consistent social and emotional support. And a lot of studies were on married couples, but also in 2010, she says a review of 148 studies found that longevity benefits were linked to all close social relationships, not just romantic ones. Meaning your friends and your family are good for your health too. That love there will bring healing, happiness, longevity, euphoric feelings, and joy to your life. Jesus says in John 15:11 through 14 that love will give you joy. So the doctor's saying love will give you joy and a happier life, a longer life. Well, Jesus has been saying this for a long time in the scriptures. So I just want to conclude with Jesus talking about how love can give you joy. He says in John 15, verse 9, "As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete," or full. "My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command." Verse 17, "This is my command: love each other." So Jesus knew something about love. He is saying, if you love, your joy will be complete. That word complete in the Greek also means full. So if you feel incomplete, if you feel that you don't have joy, your joy is half full or maybe not even there at all, it says in the scripture, "I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete." So your joy may be complete. So your joy may be full. Jesus says to love one another, and that's agape, unconditional, sacrificial love, agape love, love that loves others without wanting anything in return or anything back. It's love for humanity. It's love for people you don't know. Jesus says, love each other. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be full. I pray right now that if you are feeling lonely and empty of joy, I pray that you will feel God's love, that you will let God love you because God is love. The scripture says God is agape. God is love. And when you love on God, you will feel his love back because he is already loving on you. The scripture says that he loved us first. He loved you first before you ever loved him. He loved you first. And he loves you now. And he will continue to love you today, tomorrow, and forever. God's love will never go away. I pray right now that you would feel God's love all around you and within you, and that you will receive his love. Receive God's love right now. His perfect love. His unconditional love. Receive his love right now. And ask God to help you find ways to connect in community around you. To find friends and maybe a church or ways that you can get connected and involved with other people to develop relationships. To develop phileo relationships. Brotherly love, friendship love. And if you are seeking a mate, I pray that God will help you find that eros type of love, that passionate love for a husband or a wife. I pray that you will find love